So hello everyone. In this video we are going to look at basic operations Octave has. Octave implements all of the standard arithmetic operations, addition, right, plus addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, right, exponent. You can either use double star or this mark, right, and the element by element operation, I will explain this one later, right. So now let's look at the basic of arithmetic operations. Let's go back to Octave command window. So let me open command window. All right, so here we go. All right, so we are in command window, right? So here we have something and we can clear that out. We can clean up this window by typing CLC. Then we can get rid of all garbage in this window, right? All right, now let's add two numbers, 1 plus 2. When you type this one, so it says answer is this one. So you can add two numbers, you can subtract two numbers. 5 take away 1, 5 take away 1 is equal to 4, right? We can multiply two numbers. 5 times 6 is equal to 30, and we can divide two numbers. 8 is divided by 2, the answer is 4, and we can take exponent 2 to the 5 is equal to what? 32. So by using Octave we can do basic operations, right, like this. So we can also use variables in Octave. If you ask what is a variable, so it means it stores or holds a value for future use. So if you have learned some other programming language, you definitely know about variables. So it is easy to think. So say if you want to assign a number to a variable, say x, so I want to assign a number to this variable x. So let's clear this, clear this window, clear CLC. When you type CLC, you can clear our window, right? So let's assign a number 5 to this variable x, right? Yeah. So x is assigned to this number 5, right? So if you don't want to see this output, you just type the semicolon at the end like this. Then you don't see the output. This is the output. So if you want to find the value of x, you just type the variable x and enter. Then here Octave gives us the output of that. So let's assign two numbers. So I use capital A, I use lowercase a variable lowercase a. I assign a number to this a. Right. So let's define another variable called b. and let's assign another value to this variable. Right, so you can add these two variables, then a plus b, the output, the octave gives us this output. The sum of two variables a and b is equal to 8. So you can assign values like this, right? Here I use another variable called c, and c is assigned to the value of a plus b. A plus b. Let's say I don't want to repeat the output, I don't want to see the output, then you have to add a semicolon at the end. You don't see Octave does not repeat the output. So if you want to find the value of this variable c, just type out c and enter. Then the value of variable c is equal to 8. So you can, let's clear this our windows by typing clc. Clear the window. So you have to type the command clc, right? All right. So we can also set strings. So let's create a variable called text. So here text is my variable string. So I assign a list of characters, say. So if you assign a list of characters to this one, you have to do it inside of double quotation mark. So let's type this out. So I'm typing, I want to assign this string hello world, right? So I'm assigning this string, the list of string, to this variable string text, right? So enter that. So if you don't want to repeat the output, just type the semicolon at the end, right? Then let's type the variable text to see the output, not text. All right, text is equal to this, the list of characters. Text is equal to hello world, right? So Octave also can handle vectors, arrays, matrices, right? Let's talk about arrays. Vectors first, because we are mathematics students. So you have to use vectors, matrices very often, right? Array is a collection of numbers, data elements arranged in rows and columns, right? So let's talk about vectors. A vector is a list of numbers. It's a one-dimensional array, which is a one-dimensional array. So coming back to Octave command window. So let's clear this window by typing, now clc. So now I cleared the window. Now we are going to arrange. Now we are going to type out some vectors, right? So we know that vectors yeah, so it's so A, say V, yeah, uppercase V is a vector. So all the time if you enter a vector, you have to open up a square bracket and enter your values, a list of your values. This is my first element, right? And if you want, so this in the second element you have to give a space, right? Right, before typing the second element you have to give a space. My second element is 5 and third element is 6 and fourth element is 10. When you finish entering your vector, you have to close that bracket, so let's enter this one here. Look at this. So output shows us this vector, right? So it has 1 2 3 4, so 4 elements. This is 1 by 4 matrix. This is also matrix. It has 1 2 3 4 columns and only one row. This is also a matrix. So let's define another vector, say W is my next vector. So I define that 0 1 0, say 2. This is my vector W. If you don't want to repeat the output, you have to add a semicolon at the end, right? And enter, right? Let's add up these two vectors. So you can do vector addition, right? So by typing out V plus W, you can add those two vectors. So we can also create a column vector. So this is a vector. So you can swap. This vector. That means you can convert this one into column by typing the V prime dash at the end. Here, look at this. Here, this one is transformed to this column vector. If you want to transform a vector to a column vector, you have to add a dash at the end. So W, I want to convert W, so I also want to convert W to a column vector W dash. So W is converted to a column vector, right? So let's clear our window by typing CLC. We cleared the window. Now we are going to create matrices, right? So this is similar to creating vectors. We can combine rows and columns to achieve a matrix. So let's do that. Capital M is a matrix, so which is a 2 by 2 matrix. So you have to open up a square bracket. This is my first column. I enter the first column. This is the first element of the first column, 1, and this one is separated by this. If you want to separate two elements, you have to give a space, right? 2. This is my first column. has only two elements. So if you want to separate this row from the other row, you have to type semicolon at the end, right? So let's enter the second row. So in my second row I have these elements 3, 3, give a space, and 4. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So type, so this is my first column, second column, it has only 4 elements, right? So look at this example. This is a two-dimensional array. This is called a two-dimensional array or more. This is more. This is a two-dimensional array. So this is a two-dimensional array. The first row has these elements. This is the second row and third row. So I will explain this the colon operation later. So let's discuss this one first, right? So we can also do arithmetic operations for matrices. So let's enter another matrix n, which is 2. This is my first column, first row. This is the second row. This is my n. You can add these two matrices n plus n. Okay. So you can, so here the dimension, look at the dimension. If you want to multiply these two matrices, the dimension must agree, right? This is 2 by 2 matrix, this one also 2 by 2, then you can multiply. So m times this one, right? So we can also do element by element operations. Let's do element by element operation for M matrix, right? So how do you type? So I will multiply each element with itself. So M, so by typing M dot star itself, so gives you element by element operation. 1 times 1, 2 times 2 is 2, 3 times 3, 9, 4 times 4, 16, like that, right? So we can do element by element operation. So if you type this m dot minus m, you get 0 matrix. You subtract each element by itself, and you end up with having 0 matrix. 2 by 2, 0 matrix. Let's do division to m dot backslash n. Alright, right. So here you divide, here Octave divides each element by itself, then you end up with having all one matrix, right? This, so in this matrix every element is equal to 1. Alright, so let's do for this also m dot is exponent mark and thing. So this one to the power that one, 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 3, 4 to the power 4. This one, right? So that's all element by element operation. Let's clear the screen. CLC. So in my next video, I will discuss special matrices you can create by using Octave. So I hope you understood this the basic elementary operations. Let's meet my next video.